Hello everyone, very warm welcome to ITLS Academy. Very warm welcome to India's largest online learning platform, ITLS Academy. The topic of today's lecture is hematopoietic stem cells. This is a continuation part of hematopoietic stem cells and this is part 2. So let us start with our topic. How do hematopoietic stem cells from varying sources differ? This is a very obvious question that hematopoietic stem cells are present at various sources. So are all the kind of hematopoietic stem cells are same or they are different? And if they are different, then how do they differ from various sources? So let us see what is the answer. Scientists in the laboratory and clinic are beginning to measure the differences among hematopoietic stem cells from different sources. Hematopoietic stem cells taken from tissues at earlier developmental stage have a greater ability to self-replicate. Hematopoietic stem cells have the properties of self-renewal. Self-renewal is a property by which they can renew themselves. They can form a cell like themselves. So let us see stem cell populations of the bone marrow. European scientists have found that the relative numbers of CD34 plus cells. What is CD34? I hope you all remember that CD34 is a surface marker. This surface marker is used for the to distinguish or for the differentiation of hematopoietic stem cells. By the help of this CD34 marker or CD34 surface marker, we can easily recognize where our hematopoietic stem cells are present. Many experiments on this marker have been carried out. So, there was an European scientist that found that the relative number of CD34 cells in the collections of cord blood declined with gestational age. But expression of cell adhesion molecules on these cells increased. Cell adhesion molecules are the kind of molecules that are responsible for the adhesion of two cells together. These are cell adhesion molecules. Although this point was controversial, but a paper by a scientist, that is Chen et al., provides evidence that at least in some strains of mice, hematopoietic stem cells from old mice are less able to repopulate bone marrow after transplantation than are the cells from young adult mice. Effectiveness of transplants of adult versus umbilical cord blood stem cells. A practical and important difference between hematopoietic stem cells collected from adult human donors and from umbilical cord blood is simply quantitative. Quantitative means this will not reflect the quality of the product. This will be dependent on the amount. Quantity means amount. Doctors are rarely able to extract more than a few million hematopoietic stem cells from a placenta and umbilical cord, too few to use in a transplant for an adult who would ideally get 7 to 10 million CD34 plus cells per kilogram body weight, but often adequate for a transplant for a child. So we can say that these hematopoietic stem cells extracted were not sufficient for transplantation in an adult body, although we can use these cells for transplantation in a child. Hematopoietic stem cells from cord blood are less likely to cause a transplantation complication called graft versus host disease, in which white blood cells from a donor attack tissues of the recipient. Coming to the next point, next heading is effectiveness in transplants of peripheral versus bone marrow stem cells. In addition to being for easier to collect, peripherally harvested white blood cells have other advantages over bone marrow. These advantages are like peripherally harvested cells engraft more quickly but are more likely to cause graft versus host disease. What do hematopoietic stem cells do and what factors are involved in these activities? So, the first one property of hematopoietic stem cells is self-renewal. Self-renewal of hematopoietic stem cells. Scientists have had a tough time trying to grow or even maintain true stem cells in culture. This is an important goal because cultures of hematopoietic stem cells that could maintain their characteristic properties of self-renewal and lack of differentiation could provide an unlimited source of cells for therapeutic transplantation and study. Hematopoietic stem cells injected into an anemic patient or mouse or one whose hematopoietic stem cells have otherwise been suppressed or killed will home to the bone marrow and undergo active divisions to both replenish all the different types of blood cells and yield additional self-renewing hematopoietic stem cells. But exactly how this happens remains a mystery that scientists are struggling to solve by manipulating cultures of hematopoietic stem cells in the laboratory. Next work of hematopoietic stem cells, that is migration of hematopoietic stem cells into and out of marrow and tissues. First point, scientists know that much of the time hematopoietic stem cells live in intimate connection with the stroma of bone marrow in adults, but hematopoietic stem cells may also be found into the spleen. Spleen, if we talk about this spleen, this is the graveyard of RBCs, that is red blood cells. But hematopoietic stem cells can be found in this graveyard of RBCs, that is spleen. Apart from spleen, in peripheral blood circulation and also in some other tissues. Connection to the interstitics, the bone marrow, is important to both the engraftment of transplanted cells and to the maintenance of stem cells as a self-renewing population. Coming to our next point, Weizmann, a scientist, says hematopoietic stem cells appear to make brief forays out of the marrow into the tissues, then duck back into marrow. At this time, scientists do not understand why or how hematopoietic stem cells leave bone marrow or return to it. Scientists find that hematopoietic stem cells that have been mobilized into peripheral circulation are mostly non-dividing cells. They report that adhesion molecules on the stroma play a role in mobilization and in attachment to the stroma. Here in this diagram you can see hematopoietic stem cells are given in detail. Here you can see that committed, non-committed hematopoietic stem cells. Also the mature stem cells are given. If we divide this chart in 4 parts, that is first one hematopoietic stem cell lineage commitment, next one committed stem cells, mature blood cells and treatment or and applications of these hematopoietic stem cells. So let us divide this in 4 parts. This will help you all to easily understand the things. Here you can see these are pre-hematopoietic stem cells. Pre-hematopoietic stem cells are the cells from which hematopoietic stem cells are generated. These hematopoietic stem cells are hematopoietic stem cell lineage commitment. Here they are not committed to their fate, they can reverse their fate. If we see the further differentiation of these hematopoietic stem cells, so now you will find the committed stem cells. Committed stem cells are MPP, CMP and CLP. This MPP myeloid progenitor cells divide in CMP and CLP. That is myeloid progenitor and lymphoid progenitor. This CMP divides in MEP and GMP, while CLP divides in B cell progenitor and T cell or natural killer cell progenitors. Now these committed stem cells will further differentiate into mature blood cells. Here what comes under mature blood cells is first one is erythrocytes. Erythrocytes derived from the MEP and also the megakaryocytes. Megakaryocytes also known as platelets, as we know that the platelets are the not proper cells. These are fragments of these cells, that is these are fragments of these megakaryocytes. These two mature cells are formed from the MEP. If we talk about the next committed stem cell, that is GMP, so GMP will form monocyte, neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. This monocyte will further differentiate into macrophages. Macrophages are the cells that are responsible for the engulfment of any foreign particle or any foreign antigen that has come to our body for the intention of disease. This GMP also differentiate into neutrophil, eosinophils and basophils. All these are types of white blood cells and these play a vast role in our defense system or in our immune system. Committed B cell progenitor forms mature B cells. Committed T cell or natural killer cell progenitor forms T cells and natural killer cells. If we talk about the treatments or applications of these hematopoietic stem cells or mature blood cells, so erythrocytes are used for the anemia or thalassemia treatment, or we can say that erythrocyte deficiency can cause anemia or thalassemia. Megakaryocytes or platelets are responsible for thrombocytopenia. Monocytes or macrophages for the understanding mechanism of atherosclerotic lesions. Next one is our neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. These are responsible for the leukocyte deficiencies. Coming to the B cells can cause immunodeficient diseases. T cells can also cause immunodeficient diseases. And if we talk about the natural killer cells and T cells, again these are responsible for immunodeficient diseases. So this is all about how hematopoietic stem cells differentiate and responsible for the various kind of applications, various kind of treatments. So this is all about the hematopoietic stem cells that are differentiated from the pre-hematopoietic stem cells. So let us see some clinical use of hematopoietic stem cells. The very first clinical use of hematopoietic stem cell is in leukemia and lymphoma. Leukemia and lymphoma is a type of cancer. Among the first clinical use of hematopoietic stem cells were the treatment of cancers of the blood like leukemia and lymphoma. These two cancers result from the uncontrolled proliferation of white blood cells. Next clinical use of hematopoietic stem cells is inherited blood disorders. This is another use of allogenic bone marrow transplant, and this is the transplant in the treatment of hereditary blood disorders. Hereditary means that are genetic. And these hereditary blood disorders such as different types of inherited anemia, that is failure to produce blood cells, and some inborn errors of metabolism. Next clinical use of hematopoietic stem cells is hematopoietic stem cell rescue in cancer chemotherapy. Chemotherapy aimed at rapidly dividing cancer cells inevitably hits another target, rapidly dividing hematopoietic cells. Doctors may give cancer patient an autologous stem cell transplant to replace the cells destroyed by chemotherapy. Next clinical use of hematopoietic stem cells is graft versus tumor treatment of cancer. This is one of the most exciting new uses of hematopoietic stem cell transplantation, and this puts the cells to work attacking otherwise untreatable tumors. Last but not least, clinical use of hematopoietic stem cells is substantial basic and limited clinical research exploring the experimental uses of hematopoietic stem cells for other diseases is underway. Here some of uses and therapies that are based on stem cells are given. Stem cell based therapies are already in clinical use. That is, the experiments has finished and these therapies are nowadays in regular use. So let us see some therapies that are already in use. First one, hematopoietic stem cell transplantation is the oldest, that is 40 years stem cell therapy, and is the treatment that is most widely available. Next point, the stem cells come from bone marrow, peripheral blood, or cord blood. For some applications, the patient's own cells are engrafted. Next point, allogenic stem cell transplantation is now a common procedure for the treatment of bone marrow failure and hematological malignancies such as leukemia. Next one point, donor stem cells are used to reconstitute immune function in such patients following radiation or chemotherapy. Plasticity of hematopoietic stem cells. Plasticity is a phenomenon in which any particular type of cell can differentiate in another type if there are unfavorable conditions are present. That is, they can differentiate according to their environment and can function in various types in various shapes and size. So let us see what is the plasticity of hematopoietic stem cells. The very first point is a few recent reports indicate that scientists have been able to induce bone marrow or hematopoietic stem cells to differentiate into other types of tissues such as brain, muscles, and liver cells. Research in mouse model indicates that cells from the grafts of bone marrow or selected hematopoietic stem cells may home to damaged skeletal and cardiac muscle or liver and regenerate those tissues. Next point, Lagasse and colleagues. Lagasse was a scientist that worked with his colleagues and the demonstration of liver repair by purified hematopoietic stem cells is a similar encouraging sign that hematopoietic stem cells may have the potential to integrate into and grow in some non-blood tissues. Cells in bone marrow have the capacity to integrate into liver and form hepatocytes. Hepatocytes are the cells of the liver, and we can say that The bone marrow cells have the capacity to form these liver cells. So we can say that hematopoietic stem cells can regenerate liver. Thank you very much guys for watching this session. Follow ITLS Academy on various social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp and LinkedIn. You can also subscribe our YouTube channel and do not forget to press the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever there is an upload. You can also get the app of ITLS Academy on the Google Play Store. So thank you very much for watching. Like it, share it and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much again.